Welcome to Copper Kettle Farms live on Sunday night. I see we've already got Matt and Papa Z in here. Welcome. We're going to give folks a few minutes to hop in since we weren't live last week. I'm glad we're live this week. It was honestly too cold last week. Like it was in the 20s. And I don't know, I'm just getting more and more sensitive to the cold, it feels like. So we just decided not to go live last week. But tonight it's not so bad. It's like 40s, 43. But we're looking forward to warmer weather. We were talking earlier about how we're like, you know what? Actually, I guess I should check. Can you guys hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Every week you do that same joke and it's never, ever funny.
I'm laughing.
But you're not laughing. I don't see you laughing.
I'm laughing on the inside.
But we were like, maybe we should move further south where it's warmer. But then we're like, in the summertime, we're going to wish we were in Pennsylvania. So Papa Z says, Mama Z will be here in a minute. No problem. We are here for an hour, so no big rush. And honestly, we don't have any particular topic we're talking about tonight anyway. It's just kind of like a hangout. And maybe talk about what we're all planting, because we were going to do some more planting tonight. That didn't happen. So we're going to do some more planting tomorrow night. But Matt, how are you guys doing over there? And actually, are you home or are you on duty right now? I never know where you are. And Donald is finishing up some, what class was that from?
Regen soil.
Regen.
Let me see.
Hey, Mama Z.
Regen Ag 101. That's from Understanding Ag.
Understanding Ag, Regenerative Agriculture 101. It's a course by Gabe Brown that he was taking.
Yeah.
So, Mama Z was paying a bill. Yeah. Know how that goes. Actually, we got a notice Friday. Everybody in the county got notice that all of our trash bills are going up by like 55%. Normally we pay like $54 a quarter, and now it's like $88 a quarter or something. I mean, it's a pretty big jump all at once. And we got the letter the same day they sent the new bill out, so nobody had any notice that it was increasing. But I guess it's a gas thing. Brand new 2-year-old. That's right. The end of March. Wow. Time flies. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever too. Actually, I was talking to Donald the other day too, or actually I think it was today, about how I want to plan some like just lunches where like, not that I would be excluding you, but like some lady lunches with me and Kim and Nia and everything. But that I also want to get us all together. And
she'd be excluding you.
Like we owe you ice cream anyway, so maybe we can all go out for ice cream or something. Yeah, that's a massive jump in the price. And then our electric bill, Pennsylvania has there's some states in the United States that allow you to choose your own electrical supplier. You have an electrical distributor, which is your electric company. You can't really change that, but then you have your electric supplier. You have the choice to who you want to be your electric supplier. And I used to be able to go in and find really good cheap rates, like 0.04 cents per kilowatt type rates, sometimes 0.03 or whatever, like really cheap. And then the electric prices started doubling, and the alternative options then became even more expensive than what our normal electric supplier does. So we got a bill for electricity for like $800 the other day. And I'm like, it's just it's just getting worse. So we are working on electrical consumption, like reducing our electrical consumption right now, because that's just stupid. And I may actually put my shed here mostly off grid. Like I'm still going to have the electrical hookup, but if I can somehow get it set up so that I don't need it in here, I think will help a little bit. And then we just got to figure out where all of our electric stuff is going. It'll help once we get insulated too, because I run heaters in here, and that's not good. Hey, Howie, Food Forest Permaculture. Welcome, welcome. Always good seeing you. Another thing we were noticing is we're starting to see like mullein is popping up around. I saw our first dandelion over at TSC the other day. So I'm really starting to feel like spring is finally coming. And then I was telling Donald, we need to learn more about wild foraging. So that's going to be on our docket this year, I think. Probably mostly on mine, but it's certainly a goal. Mama Z says, mine has come up, but we are freezing or burning up because I don't want to run the heaters or the AC except tonight. Yeah. I do run the AC or the heat in here when I'm cold, because I'm working in here all day long. So I have to be comfortable. My hands get too cold. So if it's too cold, I can't be productive. And then if I know it's going to be a cold night, I'll leave one of the heaters on all night, because it's the only way to be able to come here early in the morning and work. So I don't think it's supposed to be too bad tonight. So I'll turn one of them off. And then we mostly have wood stove heat in the house, but it doesn't reach the bedroom. So we have one heater in the bedroom, the upstairs bedroom. Thank you, Howie. I appreciate that. And we have gotten some footage. Like, we got a new goat 2 weeks ago. And we actually finished moving, or Donald mostly finished moving the chicken coop finally. So we opened up, pretty much doubled the space of the goat pen. And now the new goat is in full time with our existing goats. So I've got some footage of him. He's so freaking cute. I can't wait to introduce you to this guy. I might actually work on doing a video this week just so that you guys can see him, because he's so stinking cute. We don't have a name for him yet. Trying to figure out how we want to do that. Yeah, space heaters. I'll tell you what, we were actually looking at, what was that thing called? An 𝙂𝙧𝙧𝙀. So I watched this video last week. 𝙂𝙧𝙧𝙀, of this couple that live in like the Canadian rainforest or something like that. And they live in a yurt. And we were watching it because we really like the idea of a yurt. When we get a new farm or set of land that doesn't have a house on it, maybe, that we would possibly look at yurts. So we were like, let's take a look at some of these yurts. And this couple, it's a long video, but it was such a good video because it shows all of their gardening, and it showed this product here, which I'm going to link here. It's this solar generator, and it comes with like these solar panels, and they run all of their electricity, including they have a low energy refrigerator and all of that from this. And I would love to do that, to be able to do this kind of stuff and be off grid, like, except for the internet. Like, I would still need internet for my business or whatever. But this thing, we're seriously considering getting one for the house. We'll see.
Or at least a shed.
Yeah. And another thing they had is they made a bedroom that was probably smaller than the shed. What do you think? Their bedroom.
Yeah, I think it was about.
And they had, what was that thing called? They had a little wood stove, basically, and it was hung up on the wall. And I'm like, I'm 100% want to do this. Is probably back in that corner, is put a little wood stove in here. I think that will resolve some of my heating issues. So that is on the docket too. But I forget what that thing was called. I don't know. We'll see. Cob oven is nice. Yeah. I would love a cob oven. Everything is
Cubic mini stove. Was it cubic mini?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Cubic mini stove. And those things look really, and they're cute, small little wood stove, but I think it'd be plenty for in here. Everything's in full bloom in Vancouver. Really? Everything's not in full bloom here. We just had a whole bunch of snow. Actually, I took a picture. This was only 2 weeks ago. Let me add it real quick. I took a picture of really pretty snow that we had going on here, but let me see if I can find it real quick. It was hopefully the last of the snow. We sometimes get snow in April, though, so I don't know. We'll see. Here it is. So this was just 2 weeks ago here. This is the studio that we're in right now, my studio shed. You can see the 3 windows behind Donald's head. That's that 3 windows on the left there. So it was pretty, but I'm done. I'm ready for spring. Oh, hey, TJ Miller. Welcome, welcome. Really need an electrician to put in a transfer shit. Yes. Well, the guy that put in our electric here, that's actually my cousin. He's a professional and actually just started his own company. So he could easily do that. What I would like to do, actually, I can refer him to you guys too if you want. It does really good work. I actually just bought a dishwasher somewhere and he can come and put that in for me, but we may end up doing that ourselves because he's really busy. That's so much note for me. It was pretty, but yeah, I'm done. I would like to get like permanent solar panels at some point on the house, but my concern is I feel like the type of solar panels we would need, like the whole setup. A friend of mine, actually the one that married us, she got solar panels that cost like $30,000 or $40,000. And I'm kind of like, yes, it'll pay off itself in time, but I don't plan to be here by the time it would do that. We plan to have a bigger farm somewhere, and the transfer of them over, how easy is that to do? Is that just an extra expense? I don't know. So we'll see. Oh, thanks for hanging out, Hal. We always appreciate it. Awesome. I'll send you his information, Matt. Just remind me because I might forget. Okay. I might move to it if the right woman talks me into it. Well, Donald, I mean, he's from Texas. I talked to you into moving up here.
Mm-hmm.
But you actually like it better than Texas, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you have a storm rolling in? Yeah, we had some... whatever that tornado weather you guys had, we had that, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
That crap.
Yeah, keep that down there, Missy. Thanks. So we did go through our list of videos that we want to create again because we didn't do any of the ones that we talked about last time. It just got too hectic. So I'll go over real quick some of the ones that we were talking about just because I think it's something, some of these are going to be pretty good. We're going to, since we saw dandelions popping up, I'm going to do a dandelion herb profile because it's honestly one of my favorites. Donald is going to do a video on the difference in grass maintenance and how it affects your soil and water retention and things like that. We're going to do a video on an easy way to track chickens with a downloadable that I'm going to create for you guys. Donald's going to do a video on understanding microbes, which is basically, you know how people say when you put compost on your garden, they're saying, well, you're adding nutrients to your garden. But that's not what you're doing. You're adding microbes to your garden, and they're creating the nutrients.
Correct.
So kind of understanding how microbes actually work will be a video.
Yeah, it's one of those when you hear, oh, I'm adding nutrients with my compost. You are, but you're not.
Yeah.
So it's you want to make sure those kind of things. You want to make sure that the correct information is out so that people don't forget how you're adding the nutrients. It's like I think we were talking about something the other day, and it's like, oh, I do this and this happens, but you think that's what happens, and there's a lot more to it. You're not actually doing what you think you're doing. Oh, that's what it was. It was a TikTok video, and it was a guy. It's a comedy video, but it was a guy talking about he didn't want to say anything to his girlfriend, but he puts things on the table and they're cleaned the next day.
I remember that video.
And he's like, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to jinx it because maybe it's just me. Maybe I just have the power. Because there's times where I'll put things, I'll just pile it on there just to see how well it can do it.
It's satire.
It's satire. But it's that kind of thinking, like, I put it on here and it magically happens. But in reality, there's something else that's really doing it.
By the way, TJ Miller wants to know any good Audible books you listened to lately.
I haven't listened to anything lately.
Well, at the old job, he could listen to books while at work. At the new job, he's still in that learning process for the new plant.
Well, I also listened while going to work.
Yeah.
And coming home.
And that was like a
45 minute
drive one way.
There and then back.
Now it's
2-minute drive there and back. So
yeah.
I have very little time now during the day to listen to the books.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find some books. Some of the books that I bought, the physical copies, I'm trying to see if they have the Audible version or if they're going to come out with the Audible version. Like Silvo Pasture, I want to get the Audible version of that, but they don't have one yet. I don't know if they're going to have one, but
I've been reading books. Like I've read 4 or 5 books so far this year. I'm reading a fiction right now because I've been reading a lot of like the self-help stuff, and it was great. I did like 3 in a row, and I'm like, all right, I need a break. I need something fun.
Now, I will say that you're here. What I've been doing, by the way, this whole time is I'm getting resources from these schools, these courses that I'm doing. So I'm catching resources, and
Mama Z says, "How much have you lost? You're looking good."
I'm still about the same. I'm on a plateau. So it's about 25
pounds.
25 pounds. What? Oh. But yeah, some of these things that I've been downloading, they're like PDF articles, whatnot. Like one of them. This is probably not going to interest a lot of people here because it's very scientific. But it's like tillage, habit space, and function of soil microbes. That kind of stuff. I read that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and he's archiving all of the stuff from his course, and we're putting it on Google Drive so that we can reuse it for his videos.
Like here's one called Liquid Carbon Pathway. Soil aggregation status and rhizobacteria in the mycorrhizal sphere. That's an 8-page PDF. Influence of microbial populations and residue quality on aggregate stability. This is mind-blowing stuff.
So we're also going to do a video on small acre alternative to big farming practices. We're going to rename that one somehow, but that was just like the idea where, because we have small acreage, we have to do things differently than big farms. So Donald's going to kind of go over how to do that.
Yeah, like basically all of these big names like Gabe Brown, Ray Archuleta, Greg Judy, Elaine, Ingham, John Kent, they all talk about the big scale. So they like using
hundreds and thousands
of acres, thousands of acres to do their stuff with. And that's what they demonstrate with and talk about. But no one ever talks about the less than 10 acre, or even front yards, just a quarter acre front yard or whatever. So I've been trying to do a lot of research on the different ways you can do. Like you can't use animals if you have a rural or a suburban front yard. So you have to find the alternative to using the animals.
Yeah.
You can't have animal fertilizer, or if animals fertilize, you have to physically fertilize somehow. Usually it's going to be with a cover crop or a compost or a mulch or whatever.
Yeah.
So come in with that kind of stuff.
I'm also going to do a video on peppermint and violet herb profiles, since those will be coming up soon, at least up here, I guess. And we're going to do a video on glyphosate because
damn glyphosate.
Because it is one of the top. Wait, what do you think? Like one of the top reasons our food system is as sucky as it is right now.
I won't say it's one of the top reasons the food system. The food system is sucky just because of the industrial complex and how they do it. But it's one of the top contributors to why our foods is less nutrient.
Which means you have to eat more of it.
Yeah.
Which
Like
puts a strain on farmers.
The food system now, the food quality, nutrient density of food nowadays, depending on the food, the type of food, can be anywhere from 30 to 80% less nutrient dense than food grown in the 50s to 70s.
And that's according to Gabe Brown, who's probably got that stat from somewhere else. But
That's actually from 𝙎𝙤𝙧𝙙𝙬𝙀, who worked with the USRC.
Yeah. Which I always wonder how they figured that out. They say like an orange from the 1950s is how much more potent than what we have now?
8 times.
8 times.
8 times more nutrient dense than what we have now.
Like, what science do you use to figure that out? I don't know. Hey, F.R. Humphrey, welcome.
I'm sure there's some science.
Yeah. But it makes you think, like, how, and then they talk about how they compare it, how our bodies, like, we're more sedentary now. I know I'm at the computer a lot, which, you know, I struggle with trying to make sure I'm more active. And then we're eating less nutrients.
So more empty calories.
More obesity, more diabetes, more health issues because we're eating crap food in general. And the food that we do eat that's supposed to be healthy is 80% less nutrient dense, which is just like a whole big perfect storm. So there's that. I'm going to do a video on herbal medicine, what it was like before the 1940s when modern medicine really took over here in the West. So that should be interesting. I'm going to do a lot of historical value research on that. And then Donald's actually going to do a video on the importance of soil. We're going to put a whole lot of emphasis this year on soil. And I think it's so important that farming, that's where it starts with soil. That's actually, if you see at the top here in the chat, we have a pin for our swag. Not expecting you guys to click on it and buy swag, but if you click on it.
Is it the blue thing?
Yeah. One of the t-shirts we have is actually farming starts here, and it shows microbes, because literally you can't farm if you don't have microbes. You can't. So that's where farming starts. So we're going to put a lot of emphasis on our videos on understanding microbes and understanding soil. And obviously that's, of course, what we're doing here on our farm. Anyway, our little farmette. F.R. Humphrey says that industrial farming is growing pretty food. Yes.
I would even go further saying it's just growing pretty crap.
Pretty crap. Well, I was like, what were you saying about the wheats? Like they wanted
the wheat. Oh, so like, so American wheat versus European wheat, for instance. Oh yeah. Ugh. American wheat is terrible because it's been there's been so much genetic modification to it, where they designed it, and really almost everything else too, but they designed it to where they all grow the same uniform. It's to be uniform, and so they all mature at the same rate. They all grow at the same rate, so that it's easier to harvest and get a bigger yield, instead of doing it for nutrient density, which is why the nutrient density has dropped so dramatically, because that wasn't a focus. The focus was the yield. Get everything in one time, cut it to the same time, get bigger yields, which you're not even getting bigger yields. You're actually from what I understand, you're getting less yields. Yeah. Especially when you have to do more inputs. The more inputs you have to do, the less profit you're getting, but you're not compensating with the more inputs for bigger yield. You're getting the same yield. So,
do you want me to show that video of that big root thing that you had me show that one time? Remember that?
What was the root thing? Talking about the two different comparatives? Yeah. There you go.
Prairie grass to agriculture.
Yeah. So the one on the left is the perennial prairies. So that's what you're going to see. That's grazed, or it's rotationally grazed, and it's not plowed and sprayed. The one on the right is your conventional. I think that's wheat on the right.
Yeah.
That's your conventional.
Removal of grass led to the Dust Bowl days when the drought arrived. Yeah. That's massive. Like, look at the difference of those root systems. That's crazy. And that's part of the
I want to say that's, I'm not entirely sure where that's at, but I know the Rodale Institute has a 40-year-long comparative plot levels, and they're literally side by side of conventional to organic.
Yeah.
And they've learned with their 40 years of data, their yield levels are the same from conventional to organic. The organic has better root systems, like I think one of them shows a root system like that, and the quality of the food is better.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. I think they have a couple papers out. It's very interesting.
Yeah, and Rodale's in Pennsylvania. We actually want to do a tour there this summer, and we'll do a video of that. That'd actually be a really good video to do this summer. We did one tour of the Horn Farm Center, and that one was really fun. I don't have a link to it directly, but it's in our playlist.
We'll do that again.
Yeah. And I did we do have a picture of this is the one I was talking about. The farming starts here, where you got the little microbes and everything. And it comes in multiple colors, but that one, you know, that's a big emphasis of what we try to represent here on the farm. But
healthy soil.
Yeah.
Healthy soil, healthy plants, healthy animals.
Stop treating soil like dirt.
Healthy humans, healthy planet. Healthy climate. That's what it was.
Yeah, I'd like to get rid of my gut. I'd like my gut to go away. So we're going to be eating healthier also. We have planted some stuff. We've got some lettuce up, some kale, lots of kale actually. Finally got some lavender up. Peppers haven't come up yet, but they take forever anyway. Lemon bee balm is up. Catnip is up. Rosemary's up. Tons of basil. My basil went wild. I actually got to thin it out and put it in some separate planters. So we're going to do that this week as well. And right now is when we, in our area, because we're in 6B, start planting our tomatoes. Our goal is to be able to get a red tomato by July 4th. So July will be in tomato season, but we have to start planting now because we can't plant outside until after Mother's Day. Sort of mid-May is when we can start planting outside. So still have tons of herbs we want to plant. And zucchini, I think we start now too. So we're going to be planting them this week. Now's when we get into the good stuff. April's when we get to plant the fun stuff. We plant a lot of herbs and stuff like in maybe February or March or whatever. But now we get to the yummy stuff, which I'm excited about. But now we got to clean our beds too. But we still have like a month and a half to do that. We were going to do it today and it started raining and it's still kind of cold. I don't want to get wet and cold. So we didn't get to do much outdoor cleaning today. Mama Z, I know she just got her first chickens. So I'm stoked for her because she just got her new homestead in like January. I was actually going to ask you what you're going to start planting first over there in something Newcastle, Texas, I think. One of the things that would be a benefit if we were to move further south would be a longer growing season, but I just don't know whether I want to deal with the heat. We have been considering like northwestern North Carolina, maybe eastern Tennessee, but it would really depend on some of the laws there. Like Pennsylvania, we just send in an application for license to carry. Like we both have our license to carry, so it's very easy to do that here. Raw milk is legal in Pennsylvania. I don't know that it's legal in either of those states, Tennessee or North Carolina. The housing up here in Pennsylvania, like we're one of the original 13 colonies. So the history here is just massive. And the houses here are beautiful and old. And I don't know, we just like it. We just really like it here in Pennsylvania. It's just expensive.
Excuse me, there is a message for you.
Expensive. Actually, I'm going to take this moment, since we're about halfway through, to run a quick commercial for one of the companies that we are an affiliate with. So check this one out.
As you know, it is seed buying and starting season, and we are so excited to grow with all of you, both in the garden and on YouTube. That's why we buy a lot of our seeds from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Mary has grown her business from scratch to give us an affordable option for buying and growing our own food in the garden. She provides over 800 varieties of heirloom seeds, regular gardening tips and tricks, and the opportunity for all of us to continue supporting small businesses. So if you're ready to get down in the dirt, consider buying from our affiliate link below to order directly from Mary's Heirloom Seeds.
And we're back. Also, these people will not let live people like me on stream. Not sure what that means, Jimmy, but welcome to the live stream. Mama Z says tomatoes, okra, squash, and peppers. Nice. This is actually the book that we're kind of using. We use a lot for reference because it can be used in any like what am I thinking? This 6B. Garden.
Is it your zone?
Zone. There we go. I was trying to think of the word zone. So you basically figure out when your last, and actually I'll post a link to it here, when your first and last frost dates are, and then you count back to that in order to figure out when to plant stuff. So this is a link to this book, phenomenal book. I think Stringfield Ridge Farm also did a review of it, tried it out. So you just pick whenever your dates are, and then you can write it in the top left there. Post StreamYard. Do not support. I have no idea what Jimmy's talking about.
Oh, wrong one.
But that's okay. Buy from her last year and this year. Oh, so you did buy from... Yeah, I really like Mary's. I mean, I love Baker Creek, obviously. I've never grown Hoss seeds, and I think Hoss seeds... Do they sponsor Big Bear? No, I think Baker Creek sponsors Big Bear. Somebody is sponsored by Hoss, and I've been wanting to try them out, but I have not yet. So we mostly focus on Mary's and Baker Creek for our seeds, I think. I think Mary's is a little cheaper, but Baker Creek definitely has more variety. But if you just need to fill up on your basic things, you don't think you like StreamYard, well, use something else. I mean, it's America. So, yeah. Baker Creek definitely has more variety. Stivers. Oh yeah, they might be sponsored by Hoss Seeds. We're only an affiliate with Mary's. We don't actually have any sponsors. Although I will be working on 2 other sponsors here soon. But I didn't get anything prepared for them today, so Stivers uses Hoss. And then M.I. Gardner. I call him Me Gardner still. Did we use some of his seeds? I know we have
Gardner?
some. Yeah. I tried his onion method for growing mass amounts of onions. It started to work. And it's basically taking all like 700 seeds or whatever you get in a pack, putting it in a condensed area and then letting it grow and then separating it. And it worked for a little bit, but I don't know what happened. Like as soon as it got like that long, the stems or whatever, they just flopped over. So that method did not work for us for some reason.
The urban organic farmer.
Who?
TJ.
Urban Farmer. Oh yeah, we love them too. If you're talking about Urban Organic, we used to subscribe to them. Did you sign back up for them?
No, I haven't signed back up yet.
Yeah, they have some good seeds. I really like them. And they send you stuff that's in season for your zone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a
It's like a monthly subscription box.
A subscription box, but you just get a little packet of seeds. They send you Epsom salt. They send you the little core.
Yeah, they send you 5 packets
a month.
It's usually 4 packets of seeds and then 1 sample packet.
You would like that too, Mama Z, because it's very affordable too, right?
Yeah, I think it's $15 a month.
Yeah. And then you get all these seeds every month that are good for your zone. It gives you the Epsom salts for
They give you the Epsom salts. They give you the little I forgot what it's called. The compacted soil where you get it wet and it expands out.
And they call it core or something.
Well, that's coconut core is a specific thing, but it's basically your little like you get from the Jiffy seed starter kit stuff.
Yeah.
Urban Farm. Let me find out what that is.
Yeah. But that's a really good one too. I really like that one.
Urban Farmer Steakhouse. It's probably looks like I got a couple of them here. Urban Farmer or UF Seeds, urbanfarmer.net.
Peat pots.
Teapots, that. Yeah. Let me see this one.
I was looking at that guy's channel. I don't know what he does, but don't even know. Sorry.
Is it UF Seeds? I think that's what it is. That's the website looks pretty good.
Donald is more critical of websites now that he's married me.
Oh, I will straight up diss the website.
I've ruined his website.
I'll if I see an ugly website, I'll shut her up. Oh.
Yeah, I need to actually work on our website. I do love our redesign, but it definitely needs some work. So I don't know if you guys have seen it recently. I just have to fill in stuff. I mean, the design's good. I just have to fill in some stuff. And you can buy directly through our website for any of our gear. UF Seeds.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That was the one I went to. Okay.
Are there other seed companies? Like, obviously the ones in TSC, or what is that company called?
Burpee. Yeah, Burpee. You got Ferry Morse.
Yeah. American Seed. What's the one at Dollar General? I think it's American Seed.
Oh, it's not Urban Organic Farmer. Urban Organic Gardener.
Yeah. Western NC. Are we in Western NC? Is that what you're asking? We are not. If that was what you were asking. Seed Saver Exchange.
Seed Saver Exchange is a good one. And it's mainly because you're going from peer to, that's more peer to peer. Seed Saver Exchange.
Yes.
Yeah, it's more peer to peer.
We actually got to see a workshop by them at the Mother Earth News Fair a couple years ago up here in Pennsylvania. And we actually bought their seed saving handbook because that workshop was so impressive. That one, and then what was another one that we really liked there? I think that was definitely the main one that we really liked. Understanding how to save seeds, understanding how to easily remove the seed from the chaff of certain types that, like wheat or something where it sticks in there. Stuff like that. I kind of miss going to those type of things. We didn't go to any of those things last 2 or 3 years. 2019 was the last anything related to a festival that we went to, and that was the Homesteaders of America conference. But that's only 2 hours away from us, so it was easy to get there and back. But maybe this year we can go do something. Yeah. F.R. Humphrey used to live in Western North Carolina. Oh, okay. I'm originally from Maryland. Donald's originally from Texas. And then I moved here in 2008, and then he moved up here in 2012. And we started dating in 2000. Yeah, you moved up here the same year.
Yeah, same year.
So
just months later, or a month later.
A month later, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was very quick. But it was a perfect time. I mean, you didn't have anything really holding you back to stay in Texas. So
yeah.
But botanical interests, seeds. Yes. Yeah, that's one of the things. Actually, there's a new herbalist I've been following. And she actually has a new book out. Actually, let me grab you the link because I don't think I've talked about this book yet. And it actually has a foreword in it by Rosemary Gladstar. And you guys know I love Rosemary Gladstar. She's like the godmother of herbal medicine. But this book, that's the right link. That might not be the right link. I might have made the old link.
Don't click on it.
You can click on it. It's fine. Anyway, it's called The Herbal Kitchen. And it's by 𝙂𝙧 McBride. She has a foreword in here by Rosemary Gladstar. This is one of the newest herbalists that is really
making the scene.
She's making the scene. And this is all about, obviously, Herbal Kitchen
Put
recipes.
that up there
and
again real
stuff.
quick. And stop shaking. There you go.
Shake your face off.
What?
You had nothing left in Texas except Texas. Yeah, Texas in its current form was not worth it for us to move down there, unfortunately. At least Eastern Texas.
I'll say this. All my exes live in Texas.
I thought Emma moved to Florida
Oh, damn, she did.
or Boston.
No, that's Florida. She moved to Florida. She wanted to go to Boston, which is why we broke up. Because I didn't want to go to Boston.
Yeah, he wants to go to Boston.
And then she never went to Boston. She went to Florida.
To be with some other guy.
Yeah.
So clearly that relationship was not meant to be. And my ex, well, he did live in Texas, but he moved right over the border in Arkansas. now.
Yeah.
But not all my exes live in Texas. They live all over.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
I was trying to be cool with the
Kentucky.
song, but you just ripped that out from under me.
Well,
Appreciate it.
that's what I do. Hey, our Georgia Suburban Homestead. Welcome, welcome. At least he didn't start singing. Anyway.
You wouldn't want me to start singing.
So this book has food recipes, but it also has things like
Salves and that kind of stuff, or
well, we've got herbal drinks. We've got understanding the properties of the different herbs. I mean, it's mostly supposed to be edible stuff because it is a kitchen book. Herbal pesto.
Mama Z, you should always have that song stuck in your head.
All my exes live in Texas. Yeah, it's mostly food recipes, but it goes through all the different properties of the different herbs, like chai honey. Donald loves chai.
Chai, oh my goodness.
But there's
It's
a chai
more.
honey.
I'll take a chai honey.
Yeah,
You can be my chai honey.
so weird. There's a cough easy honey. So it's
Did
got
you say
some
weird or rude?
more weird.
Both work though.
Right. I think the other two are in Arizona.
Purple
Yeah.
dead nettle.
Yeah,
Chickweed.
I had one.
Chickweed.
I had some weird ones. Some weird exes. I have one that works for the Department of Justice. I'm still good friends with most of my exes. I will say that. My ex-husband lives like 30 minutes away. Hanover. Yeah.
Oh, so you live in Hanover?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Our Georgia says, I'm about to edit and release a video on purple dead nettle. Yes.
Did you not just hear me say that?
No, I ignored you. So that would be great. I love purple dead nettle. I've been wanting to do a salve with purple dead nettle, but we don't have any up yet. So I'm waiting for it. We have this issue, and I'm really hoping it's not going to be a problem for us this year. Donald's going to do a video about this. I'd like him to do it soon.
We're going to do it this week.
But we're stupid. My dad overmowed the backyard. Behind my shed here is great. We didn't mow it all last year. It takes water fine. The ground is healthy looking. The grass is going to have deep root. Like, I'm all for it. But Dad overmowed behind the house. And my issue is it's such a mud pit. Like, you can barely see grass. And I'm like, okay, is all of my purple dead nettle going to come up? Or am I going to have any dandelions come up? Like, it's just mud.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because he mows every week, sometimes multiple times a week. And he mowed in November and just didn't let the grass have any time to recover or grow or develop.
Say how low he mows.
Well, you can't see any grass now, so that must tell you something.
You know how you walk on grass and grass goes up or supposed to go up around your shoe? It doesn't. There. It does over here.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have purple dead nettle over here behind the shed, but behind the house,
It's just a
probably
mud
not.
pit. And it's just because if you grow it too short and you expose bare soil and then it freezes and thaws and freezes and thaws, freezes and thaws, it's going to wash out.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a mud pit.
Yeah. I'm going to try, fingers crossed, I'm going to try to have a conversation with my dad and be like, hey, this year, could you not mow every week? Could you maybe mow What do you think? Once a month?
No, you shouldn't even do a once a whatever. It's
Whenever it's recovered.
whenever you mow, don't mow again until the blades of grass have come back to a point. That shows that that plant is recovered from that trauma. The roots have gone down, have gathered the amount of carbon that they've needed to replenish the soil and feed the microbes. Then you can mow again.
Yeah, we have chickweed somewhere, but we don't have any right now. We have a lot of plantain. And then the chickens have been like laying in my thyme and my lavender, so I think those plants are dead, which is annoying.
Come on over here.
Well, they laid in the thyme over here, but my lavender was over there.
Oh, that over there, yeah.
Under the clothesline.
Yeah, the thyme over here, I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. I just want
I'm going to cut it back, though.
pretty stuff over there, too.
That's gone crazy over there.
But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty exciting. I think we mentioned earlier, one of the things we want to do is make more wild foraged type videos. Like we're going to learn more about wild foraging, stuff like that.
So, F.R. Humphrey, sorry, comment. I'm making a comment about this. So that's the downside of an HOA.
One of them.
One of the downsides of an HOA. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unless you can get them to change their policy,
She won't do.
Which they won't do. But that's the issues. That's one of the things we've actually talked about. Is if you live in an HOA, they're going to not let you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just I hate I hate the mentality of we had to have a putting green yard look, and now you're just gonna have to deal with having water pond or runoff, and now it's going to be nothing but chemicals. People have to use fertilizers and to keep their grass green instead of using biology. So
I think one of the herbal videos that I've done before for our Georgia Suburban.
yeah, there's a lot of even. I mean, I will say even a lot of cities and boroughs, they will even if someone complains about a yard like an eyesore, they'll come by and say you got to mow it or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can still now. I'll say this: you can still mow. That's just the mowing the often part, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. You can just grow stuff in pots, but I don't even know if that's allowed.
They probably won't allow you. I would say I don't know if they have an issue with how high you can keep it mowed, but if you can keep at least 4 inches of grass, if you don't mow down, that helps a lot. Not a lot, but
yeah,
if that's all you're doing. It's something.
Yeah. I've never lived in an HOA.
Yeah.
The only time I lived in something similar was when I was married to my first husband. We lived in base housing. But my husband was gone all the time anyway because he was in the Navy. So he's always on tour in the Med or whatever. So I wasn't doing much gardening anyway because we were actually, the base housing was in a bad neighborhood. They wouldn't deliver pizza past 7 p.m. because of how many pizza drivers were like robbed and stuff. And I was like, oh, well, as a single, or not single, but an alone 19-year-old girl, I ain't going outside. And so I didn't have much of a garden.
That's weird.
When I was in Norfolk. And I was in Norfolk. That's where my first husband was stationed for a long time. I lived there for like 2 years. I actually got offered drugs there before too. Like I just didn't want to go anywhere. I'd go shopping at like 1 a.m. when people were not around for groceries. Like other stores weren't open, but the backyard no restrictions. Well, that's good at least. Can you put like raised beds and stuff, or is that kind of? Do you have to have it fenced in? Like I don't know. I've always been in some form of a farm. my whole life, except for that brief stint on base. Few plants get tall fast, so I have to move before others can recover. Yeah.
That's the downside. You have to, you can't wait for everything to get recovered.
Mm-hmm. But I think if you can do some in the backyard, you just have to, I don't know, you just have to live with the front yard part. And we kind of, in a way, we kind of deal with that, not that same situation, but we don't do a lot on the house side. We were going to this year, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle because my dad lives with us and he likes things a certain way for him. He puts a lot of weird junk in the yard and plants flowers in it. And in random places that are very inconvenient for us to be able to walk down to get to certain places in our yard that we want to get to. And he likes to have a well-groomed yard, which is great. I don't know why he puts so much junk in the way, but trying to get him to let things go a little bit more wild will be an issue. I think he already doesn't like that we've pretty much fenced in half of our yard for having sheep later this year, but who knows?
We'll have to deal with it.
Yeah. It's always going to be a relationship of give or take with my dad. So
I will say though, we started with one row on the garden, and then the next year I think we got 2 rows, and then the next year we got I think 4 rows, and now we got the whole side yard.
Yeah. And so my dad's 71 years old. So we're trying to find ways to make sure he feels included in the property as well. We're going to plant corn, even though Donald and I don't really eat a lot of corn because Dad loves corn. And then we recently gave him the task of, we want how many birdhouses did we ask him to make for us?
Just some.
10 or 15 or something. Since we're putting them all around the garden so that the birds have a place and they can, act as pollinators and help their garden. And this is actually a cute picture of my dad making us some birdhouses that I took last week. So he's all in on that, which I think is adorable. But it gives him something to do, makes him feel useful. And I think that's part of what mowing is for him too, which is part of the issue because he just gets bored. Now we do keep a hammock around for him. He loves to take naps in the hammock, so that gives him something to do. I just don't know what else to get him to do. So he feels part of things, but without also obstructing our plans for the most part. So do we keep bees? Not yet. That is an absolute goal. 100%. We want bees. We don't have the equipment yet. And then he might be allergic. You remember as a kid being told you were allergic.
I remember as a kid being told I'm allergic to anything that stings.
I'm not, and I don't have any issues messing with the bees with proper equipment or anything. But then it's we have no idea what to do for bees. We've never been educated on that. So I would feel, I'm the type of person that I have to feel like I'm a little bit prepared first. And I don't want to bring bees here and then not care for them properly and then they die or they leave or something and that expense is now gone. So I have to do a little bit of a beekeeping class, which we have a local meadery that does that here. So the access is fine. They even get bees. You can order bees from them. But I want to be educated first before I tackle that. Helped a friend catch a bee swarm today and hubby got stung above his right eye. Oh, I bet that's fun. Well, not funny, but when dogs get stung and they're it's cute, funny, but so yes, we definitely want bees. They're too expensive to lose them. Yeah. And honestly, when Donald first moved up here from Texas, he gets allergies. I don't have any allergies except poison ivy, on my skin or whatever. So I don't get the sneezing and the watery eyes, but he gets it bad and usually starts probably soon, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's going to be here pretty shortly.
But his first year up here, we used to go to the local farmers market, and there was a friend of ours, became a friend of ours, that always brought the best local honey with comb in, comb out, whichever you wanted. We always got the comb in because I liked having the comb. And that first year, I did, like, I always put honey in my coffee. Like, I've done that for years. I prefer that over any kind of sugar. I have a fantastic recipe, and I should probably do a video on it, making paleo chocolate chip cookies that are sweetened with honey, like no sugar. So we consumed a lot of honey that first year, local honey. And the next year, I don't think you had any allergy attack at all, right?
Yeah. So you replaced any kind of sugar that year, especially through the winter,
with honey.
Anytime she baked, anytime she had to do something with sugar, she replaced it with honey, and that the local raw honey. And then that next spring, I had 0 allergies.
Yeah.
First time in 35 years that I had 0 allergies.
Yeah.
Of course, then she stopped selling, and we couldn't get back into a routine of getting it. So then I had allergies the next year.
And there's always that. I don't know if it's like an old wives' tale or something, that if you consume local honey, you're consuming local pollen, your body kind of can adjust to it depending. I don't know. I just know that first year it worked wonders.
Yeah, there was an article. I forgot what that article was. There was an article about that, and that just goes to.
That's a really good tip.
Your. I'm blank. It's basically goes to the food.
Yeah.
If you eat natural, occurring local stuff, you're going to absorb the nutrients from that area. So it's like the whole you are what you eat. If you eat local, if you eat organic, if you eat raw, or whatever, you're going to get those nutrients from those. So that also, in my opinion, shows the transition from soil to plant to food to the human, to the body. So if you are growing food and you use chemicals, it's going to go into the human body.
Yeah.
Just like if you...
Glyphosate.
Ugh. Yeah. And it just goes to that whole thing. If a bee goes to a plant, gets a pollen, creates the honey, and we consume it, then we're going to get whatever the bee collected. And as long as it's, organic and raw, you're going to get the good stuff. Otherwise, if they're next to a wheat field or something that has, not a wheat field, but something that grows the chemicals, or they use the chemicals to grow, and they're trying to get that pollen for whatever flowers in there, then you're going to get that side effect.
And since we're getting close to the end of our live, I want to do our channel shout out. So I did put the link below in a small format if one of my mods want to grab it. But we decided to choose one of the channels that has been the most supportive of us. Love them to death. Talk to them pretty much daily on Marco Polo. And we are also members of their channel. But Big Bear Homestead, probably some of our best friends in the homesteading community, the first homesteading channel on YouTube right here. A wealth of knowledge. And
how long they've been around?
I don't even
Over 10 years?
It's been forever. So this is probably my number one channel that I would suggest someone to follow, just to learn some of the basics about homesteading in general. But they are phenomenal. Jason and Robin are some of my favorite people. We love their kids. They call us Aunt Crystal and Uncle Don. These guys are the channel to follow if you are just getting into the homesteading community. So that is our channel shout out to spread the love.
Jason and I are actually in a cooperative. What do you call
You're
it?
in a battle to see who loses
Cooperative,
weight first.
positive competition on weight loss.
Yeah, they started out about the same, and they're trying to get. I don't know what Jason's goal weight is, but they're in competition.
I think the goal weight loss is the same. I think our weights are different, but the weight loss is the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're in Georgia. They're
I don't know where.
Elkton, Eberton, which is not too far from Athens. Something. Yeah, these guys are losing all kinds of weight, and I'm not. So, but I also haven't been doing as much activity. So part of my goal this month, because it is my birthday month, actually our next live will be right before my birthday. So, is going to be focusing on my health, because I've had some scary health scares over the last 2 weeks. When was it that I thought I was having a heart attack?
Last week.
I don't know. I was trying to remember what day. It was like Wednesday or something. I think it was Wednesday. And then I had some bad heart palpitations like 3 weeks ago. So, like my heart rate went up to like 168. And so I'm going to be working on consuming some like dandelion tea, some hibiscus tea. I have a doctor's appointment on the 11th, right before my birthday, which is the 13th, by the way. And we are going to work on my physical activity because I'm on the computer so much. I need to get more active, and it's easier when it's warmer out anyway. If it's cold, I don't want to go outside. So yes, I need to work on my health this month. And I think this is a perfect month to do it because I will be getting older and more gray. So.
Yeah, I've been killing it on the steps.
He had like 20,000 steps like yesterday or something, or Friday.
21,000, over 21,000.
You know, I'm happy to get 2 in a day. 3. I'd be happy to get 3 in a day. Am I diabetic? No, I am not diabetic. They've put me on heart monitors. They've done EKGs. They've done all kinds of like scans and all of that. I finally got a Fitbit so that I could at least have a general idea. I know it's not meant for medical diagnosis or anything like that, but it does keep it keeps a record. So I can be like, all right, because we're also trying to monitor what we eat. We're trying to track what we eat, which we haven't done as good this last week or whatever. But if I can know what I eat, know what I've done, know what my heart rate has been and when. Like one day, my heart rate stayed in the 160s, which is like they're thinking you're doing fast cardio, like sprinting. And I'm not. I was laying in bed. That's how bad it was. My heart rate's 168. Fitbit recorded me burning over 5,000 calories. I never burn over 5,000 calories in a day. Like that's just, and I didn't, like I was laying in bed. So that's what it was recording because my heart rate was so fast. So, but when I had the heart issue, what I thought was a heart issue last week, my heart rate did not go up at all. It's still in like the 80s. So we think it's my gallbladder. So I got to get gallstone check. I know I had some starting a couple years ago when I had it looked at, but I'm thinking I'm going to have my gallbladder removed. I think that's what was causing the pain.
Get it out of there.
Do it now while you're young, says the old lady. Yeah, so we're stepping up the health this month and well for the rest of the year. We've actually done really well. I think for January and February we were recording almost every day what we were eating, counting our calories, keeping it like 1,500 calories, which is my goal. 1,500 or less is perfect for me. When I had lost a lot of weight initially a couple years ago, it was more than a couple years ago, 2011, I was eating 500 calories a day. And then my nutritionist gave me a whole bunch of crap and said, you need to do better than that because that is very unhealthy. I lost like 100 pounds from that. So I upped it to 900 calories.
I was like, well, yeah. Your body was just eating itself.
Yeah, I did 500 calories a day for probably a year. And then she gave me some stuff, some guff for it. And I upped it to 900 calories a day, and that did a lot better. I'm trying to be more healthy about it now. 1,500 calories or less, I think, is where I'm going to try to stay. And just being more active. So when he leaves for work, I'm going to exercise. And then I'm going to come down here. If I come down here and then have to exercise later in the day, I won't do it. So I need to do it before I come down here. Because once I'm in work mode, I'm done. So it's hard for me not to work, though. I think Donald's even like, I don't understand how you want to work as much as you do.
So I forgot what we were doing the other day, but I forgot what we were doing. Crystal literally didn't want to do that. She said, I would rather be working right now.
Yeah.
And I forgot what we were doing. I think we were
What
just
were we doing?
Oh no.
It wasn't a movie because I would totally watch a movie with you over working. If I didn't have a deadline, yeah. But I forget what it was. We wanted to do something. I remember him saying, he's like, I've never heard anybody say they would rather work.
Yeah, like it was something. It was about to do something or whatever, and she was just like, no, I want to go work. I'd rather work and be productive.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what?
And I'm always finding ways to multitask. Like, okay, this morning I'm like, all right, if I start laundry now, and then I can put bread in the oven. So I baked a loaf of apple cinnamon bread today while my laundry is cooking. I can do dishes and cook breakfast burritos while the sausage and the eggs are cooking. I can be washing dishes. So I'm doing literally 4 things simultaneously at the same time. And I'm like, yes, this feels great. I'm being productive. But that's just how my brain works. I just can't not work.
Yeah, that's definitely her right there.
So anyway, we're at the end of our live time, and we try not to be, I don't know how some of these people do these 5-hour marathon lives. I've never been interested in anybody or any topic that I'd want to watch 5 hours of it. But 2, I feel like I would rather be respectful of all y'all's time. Like my friends that feel like, oh, I need to be here to support. I would never make you guys stay here if you couldn't stay or make you stay that long. I think it's, yeah. So anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. I love everybody's input in today's live. Like we didn't have any specific topic, but you guys had some really good questions and tips and all of that. And I appreciate you guys spending time with us this evening. So have a good rest of your week. Don't forget to hit that like below. It helps us out. Subscribe if you are. Join the channel as a member if you want. I'll be giving out some cool stuff this month for my birthday, probably some extra stuff for the members. And we'll see you next Sunday. So take care. Should we do the peace?
Peace.
Peace.